Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is going to be a relatively short stream. I'm saying relatively because I don't know for certain. However, I do know that I would quite like to watch Late Night Leeds in about half an hour. So my plan is to go until then and see where we are at. It should be a very good time. And yeah, the general goal of this stream is just you guys let me know how we're feeling about the rest of the season right now, about Luton tomorrow, and we'll just bounce off each other a little bit. Just because I have, over the last week, I think what every fan has done is they've gone into a place of like thinking and trying to work out where they sit on various things around the club. So for me, that is generally feeling kind of okay. Feeling like we are still very, very likely to go up, and I think we'll be nice and comfy and cozy and promoted in the end. And that's fine, that's great. But I know a lot of people won't be in that spot. So I think this is a kind of good opportunity to like bounce ideas off one another, And it'd be fantastic. The very, very first comment that we have to respond to is the controversial one. Thank you very much, Andrew Sefton. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? And we know this is a point of controversy because this has been a point of controversy on this channel for the last few days. Is Luton London? Now, there are going to be some that make the argument of no. Strictly, it isn't in Luton. Isn't in Luton? It isn't Luton. It isn't in London. Because, taking a look at a map, you got Luton hanging out up here, which is a fair distance from London. And if you go middle of London, measure distance, and you drag your way up to Luton, kind of a long way, 30 miles. The argument for Londonness is questionable. Fair enough, I get that. I'm also going to put a background on just to sort of lighten the spirits and lighten the vibe. However, look at this thing. Look at this disgusting monstrosity. It's not just Luton Airport. No. It's London Luton Airport. So I'm considering it part of London, even if other people don't. That's what we're going to go with. It is, and it shall remain a part of London. And anyone that disagrees, I'm not going to say is wrong, but at the same time, screw you. Let me have my silly agendas and my complete nonsense. Well, I want to see if I can fix my ring light or if it's like broken. Because for some reason, like as bright as it will go is now this, and that's nothing. This thing should be shiny, and it's just not. So I've tried to get a replacement sorted, which should be quite nice because I quite like. So like right now, you can, if I change tab, look at this side of my face. All of the lighting on me right now is coming from my PC, rather than like the light that I have put up to do light things, which is kind of a shame. It's kind of disappointing. So I'm getting that sorted tomorrow. So that should be fixed by either mine or the Only Leeds Bros stream. Don't know which one, but one of them, maybe. We'll find out. Good evening, Richo. How are you doing? But the general poll that I'm going to put up is going to be a fairly simple, nice one. Will Leeds United still get promoted? Yes, automatically. Yes, playoffs or no. There's your options, because there isn't a world in which we can finish outside the playoffs now. Like no matter what, we're in the playoffs. We can't drop out of the top four. Fun fact: 6th place in the league right now isn't able to get into the top four, but is able to get relegated with the amount of points that are still on the table. That's an idea of how vastly clear us and Burnley and Sheffield United, and to an extent, Sunderland are right now. Like, it's comfy, it's cozy, it's fine. It's just a case of we need to be in that top two. And it's currently 2 out of 3. Like, last season, it was 2 from 4. There was a stage at which you were like, Southampton are probably done. I don't see how they get back into it. But yeah, I think I'm sat where Chris is, like, nervous but still confident. A lot of it comes down, in my opinion, to Luton. Because if against Luton we are able to not just come back with a bit of fire in us, but come back, like, comfortably better than we have been recently, then I can be a bit happy. Like, we don't just want a scrappy 1-0 win that is like some of the worst football you've ever seen against Luton. You need to see something in the performance as well, because Luton are 23rd. They are down there for a reason, because they are not a very good side this season. And the way that we really sort of stamp our authority on it right now is say, look, let's just beat them. Let's just pummel them. And that would be great. I wish I could be in this position, though. Like, a lot of the time, and like, fair enough, I understand that being able to do content creaty stuff to the point where like people actually watch it and people have an interest is fantastic. And it's a genuine honor to have you guys watching this stuff and listening to my stupid face say stupid words. But sometimes there's that little sneaky feeling of it would be so nice to be able to just go to the garage, chill with the buddies, and not need to know what happened in a game of football until afterwards. I can't do that because I got to make things and also work. So, oh yeah. On that note, I've got work in like 8 hours, I think, which is fun. Luton away is not a good fit for Aronson. Oh, fuck goes with Nonto. I'm in the same boat. I think their styles of playing the game are different to one another. Because the two of them, odd approaches is the way I'm going to put it. What I am also going to do, by the way, is do a redirect after this stream over to Late Night Leeds, which means that A, I can just go over to Late Night Leeds once I'm done, and B, we can do a nice raid and we can take them by surprise and spook them a bit. So I'll stream up until they're going, which I think is fair. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, Nonto is better at that sort of killer pass between the lines, which you don't particularly get from Brendan Aronson. Which is like, I'm not going to be one of those people that's like Aronson is therefore not good enough because he doesn't do that thing. Different players have different like ways of playing the game. That is fine. That is normal. But the concern that you need to sort of dig into beyond that point is more of a match-by-match basis. Leeds need to make changes for tomorrow other than Darlow. Does that see Leeds winning? I think if we don't make changes aside from Darlow, I think we still have enough to win this. Like, comfortably. I feel completely fine with that. But I'd like that comfort of knowing that we've done a little bit of rotating, and a little bit of me wants to, say, chuck in a Ramazani and Nonto as Nonto in the 10, Ramazani on the wing, purely so even if things don't go right, what we can effectively do is say, you've been shouting about this for weeks and it didn't work. Can we be a bit sensible now and not just pretend that the thing that isn't happening is the way that we fix what is happening? Because way too many people do that. Way too many people approach it as the different thing is good. But it's not, because the different thing isn't good. The different thing is just a bit different. Which, yeah, it's like, it's the opposite of the fear of the unknown. It's the belief that the unknown will just win you the thing. and that isn't going to happen. So I think a little bit of me wants to see that big change just to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then it's like, well, okay, at least we've got an answer now. It clears things up. I feel the only change tomorrow will be what we knew already with Dala coming in. I think we're going to do a little bit more. I do think Nonto starts because there was a very deliberate mention from Farker on the topic of Nonto and him building his fitness and being like completely ready. And I think there was a reason that he talked about how Firpo and Tanaka and Nonto all got minutes back in their legs after the international break. He's had an extra week of doing recovery. And the discussion that was being had at one point recently was that Willie Nonto was going to start the match against Swansea if he didn't get injured. And then he did get injured, and that's what pushed him back. This week of recovery, in my opinion, is fine. It'll do the job. I think that gets us in the right direction. Nerves are getting to me, but the players need to show us if they're ready as well. I think they are. I think there was something fun that I saw recently, right? And off the top of my head, I think this is the case, but I'm going to have to double check it. Championship table. Right, who have we got left to play? Luton, 23rd. Fine. We've got to play Borough, who are now 5th. Jesus, it's tight for the playoffs. That's fine. Then Preston, who are 14th. And then we have a run of Oxford. Then Stoke. Then Bristol City are in 8th. That's fine. And Plymouth. 4 of the bottom 7 sides we still have to play. And that doesn't include Derby. Because you look at Burnley's fixtures as an alternative, and a lot of people are like, oh, Burnley, they don't concede goals and they've learned how to score again. Looking at their fixtures, it's Coventry, dangerous. Derby, won the last 4. Norwich, second highest scorers in the league. Watford, fighting for the playoffs. Sheffield United, pretty obvious. QPR, we know they can do some damage. And then Millwall. That run of 7 games is the perfectly distilled version of scary championship stuff, because all of those games can be a landmine. And whether they will be or not, we don't know. But Scott Parker is a clown in a tornado dancing through a minefield right now. And if he gets through it, fair play to him. But I think there's a lot of places where he could slip up here. Even though Ethan Ampadu wasn't fit and didn't play well last game, do you think he plays as club captain? You see, I think like Nonto, the extra week will have done him favours. I think we made the wrong decision last week. I think it should have been start Tanaka, Ampadu comes on. Instead, it was start Ampadu, Tanaka comes on. I think we got that the wrong way around. But I think he'll perform better this time. Where/how do I buy tickets for the charity match? You buy tickets for the charity match. Have I got it in the description? I can't remember. Give me a second. I didn't put it in the description because I've not saved a new version of the description draft, which is a problem. Unless I've accidentally done the wrong affiliate link. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to say charity match tickets here. Gosh, I've updated the description now. It should be down there. If it isn't, give the page a refresh and it should pop up down there. Fun fact that if you weren't watching Joe's stream earlier, you won't quite know yet. We have done better than expected on selling early tickets, to the extent that I think PayPal thinks that we are a money laundering operation because it keeps holding back significant chunks of the funds. For example, I'm going to log in right now and just let you know the amount that it's holding back. There it is. So currently we have a big available balance, which I will be doing like announcements on as we go. But the not available yet fund is like 20% of the money that we've made from ticket sales, because evidently PayPal are just like, this isn't drug money, is it? And it's like, no, it's completely fine. It's all good. But who knows? Who moved my cheese book? What cheese book? Was there a cheese book? I don't have a cheese book. Do you have a cheese book? Very weird. I'm back on the altars again. Adam, you're not meant to be here right now. I was going to surprise you guys with a nice raid once you've been going for a couple of minutes. You bastard. It's fine. It might not be as effective a surprise anymore, but just don't tell the other guys. It'll be fine. I would also firmly recommend going over to give Late Night Late to Watch. Not only because it is a genuinely good source of footballing discussion, but in addition to this, because occasionally I'll hop in there and it'll be an absolute shit show. Because as was discovered last week, when Adam was just chatting to me afterwards, he was like, well, that was chaos. And it's like, yeah, I was on a live stream. I just took it in directions. It's fine. This is normal. This is good. It's a fun, jumpy vibe. Burnley's not losing, and I think they will. And I am on this spot as well, because I think Coventry are the right sort of side to take points away from Burnley. I think the way that they play matches quite nicely when it comes to beat Burnley in a game of football. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but there's no chance Burnley go without losing a game for the rest of the season. And if they do, well done to them. They've earned it. We will have been severely outdone. Can I buy them now? Is it Southleeds Stadium? It is Southleeds Stadium, and you can buy them now. Yeah, we are on the first run of tickets still, which means that there's a lot on the go. So if you're fancying some, if you want to bring some friends, go for it. It's great. There's a very specific Get Tickets tab on the site, which is easy enough to get to. That'd be much appreciated. We need to win all these games now. We can't afford to drop more points. I mean, we can drop some. I think to say that we can't drop any more points is dramatizing it a little bit. But it's in the spooky season, I think. It's in the next couple of matches we need to stamp our authority down here. And we need the other sides to drop some points, because that's how we start making progress. If they get into a spot where they're tumbling and stumbling and making things tricky for themselves, that's where we start to thrive. And hopefully that's the case. But again, time will have to tell. If Oxford managed to do something against Sheffield United, I'm going to be bouncing off the walls with joy. If that can't happen, then that can't happen, I've given up on hope. I'm expecting failure, therefore success in whatever form will be a no surprise. That is the approach I don't let myself have in terms of football. Because I like to focus on the positive and happy and good side. And I know that if I end up in this little spiral of things aren't great, then you're not going to enjoy the times that are good. Because, look at last season. Look at Leicester. Look at beating Ipswich repeatedly. If we're approaching it from the perspective of, well, I expect us to not go up anyway, you don't enjoy that moment because it doesn't mean anything. That's why I'm always leaning into the hope and optimism side of things, because, at worst, the thing doesn't happen. But next season, you've still got a football team. And it might not be in the Premier League, but, either way. We all knew it would come down to the wire like this. Yeah, I mean, I thought at one point Burnley would go away. I thought Trafford's form was not hugely sustainable. Turns out, might have been wrong. But it's okay, 20% thinks you'll finish mid-table next season in the Championship. I don't think we finish mid-table anyway. I think even the shell of this squad, probably. finds its way into the playoffs. Like, it's far from guaranteed. It isn't guaranteed. But I think they probably stumble and crumble their way into at least being in that discussion. That's the hope, at least. Win 7 out of 7. The process is painful, but the trophy will be so sweet. It will. It will be a delicious trophy that will just be eaten up. Yeah, for me, I do think we still make it. I don't know about winning 7 out of 7. I think there are still points to be dropped, but I think all of the sides are going to drop some points. So that makes it sort of okay, because there's no shot that all of the teams that are pushing for promotion right now stay on the form that they're on, or at least 100% the rest of the season, because they literally can't, because Sheffield United play against Burnley. Thing is, we gotta find something that works. What's the capacity of the stadium for the Creator Cup? #fill it. It's about 2.47 thousand. I say about because basically what I did for all of the blocks of seats, I counted across, I counted up, and I multiplied. There's a couple of all over the shop seats, but that's fine. I can't count all of them. But the more people we're able to get in early on, the more we can find out whether or not we can open the top half. Because if we can, that's fantastic. That makes things so much simpler for us. If we can't, that's where it gets complex. Just got to check something. Okay, cool. At the moment, I am tracking on the back of this envelope, which came with a copy of the Square Ball. I'm tracking the number of tickets that we've sold because I've not got access to the back end of the website, which is good. It means that I can't go into paranoid holes like counting the number of tickets on all of the receipts, because that would be an insane thing to do, wouldn't it? But here we are. Yeah, if you're in or around Leeds and you fancy going, in the description I've popped the link for the tickets, so hop over there and it would be fantastic. It's going to be a great day. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I would as well. You would what as well? I've already completely forgotten what I was talking about at this point. I'm really good at this streaming business, aren't I? Where sometimes you can just tell I've got no idea what's going on. It's the best way to do it. And I want you to support Solomon and the rest of the lads. We will make it. We will, for me. In terms of a lineup for tomorrow, I think there's Darlow guaranteed in the lineup, but there's a couple of other names that are guaranteed in the lineup, and they include our sponsors over at Match Bingo. Match Bingo is a new way to watch football where you can get a bingo card for various events in a game of football, including corners, VAR checks, goals, and you can watch your card fill up as you get 1 line, 2 lines, or a full house that will potentially win you a cash prize. Remember, be gamble aware. The link's down in the description if you are struggling with that kind of stuff. And you have to be of the age of 18 to play, because it is a form of gambling, and only put in what you are willing to lose. Thank you, Match Bingo, for sponsoring both the channel and the charity match. It is genuinely really appreciated. It's kind of very, very helpful to have you guys on board, because otherwise the event just wouldn't happen. Anyway, back to the chat. Sorry, had to plug a thing because contractually I have to. Do you know what wheelchair access is like for the Creator Cup? I don't off the top of my head, but I can ask. I believe it's good because it's like a very, very commonly used stadium. It's owned by the city council, so they need to make things accessible. Yeah, I'll have to look into that for more detail, but I'm fairly sure it's very, very good. In fact, I'll have a look now in the background. John Charles, Centre for Sport. On that counting receipts point, Thank you to the person that just bought a couple of tickets. You know who you are, and I much appreciate it. And that you'll see pen, envelope, ho ho ho. Quick bit of maths. Okay, cool. Very nice. If one more person that is potentially on the fence about getting a ticket could get one during the stream, that would be much appreciated. By the way, guys, just for reasons that you'll find out if one more person gets a ticket. Are Leeds plugging the Creator Cup at Elland Road with posters, etc.? I don't believe so. I think that's something that's going to be very, very difficult to do, especially because you've got to consider the factors that are at play. So you've got Leeds being in a promotion race, which means that stuff that isn't Leeds United is very much going to be like put to one side, understandably. Initially, the plan was for us to drop the tickets after the Swansea match if we won, but we didn't win, and we were able to say, okay, no one is going to get anything on a day that we've dropped points like that, even though like it was a case in which we had just had like payday for the vast majority of people. Club football was back, so people are excited about football in that moment. It just wasn't worth the risk. I can see Leeds being in a similar position, although I'm working with the club a little bit in conversations with them to see if they can help out with a couple of bits and bobs. But I'm going to get into more detail on that if any of it is confirmed. Connor come back to security duties if not playing. Maybe. I mean, we'll have a chat with him. It's ultimately up to him what he fancies doing, though, to be fair. Like, he might just want to rest it up. Evening, I'm late to the show. You bugger. You've managed to catch me shilling charity match tickets and not doing tons else, I'll be honest with you. And shilling match bingo as well. But the stream is not going to be going for too much longer because it is late night Leeds in a few minutes over on Imagine Not Being Leeds. So we're going to do a raid over there once they're up and going for a couple of minutes, just so they can get like a bit of oomph. I'm trying to think of a fun little raid message for it. That'll do it. So we're not raiding them yet, but we'll be saying that when we go over because it's funny. Hello, White Snake Bites. Always good to have you on board. Are we doing a raffle? We are, I believe, doing a raffle. We've got one prize confirmed. That's from Classic Football Shirts. It's nothing huge because they're unable to support that. But it's a nice little gift card. I'm working on a couple of further things as well, including like doing a thing in the event potentially and various other bits and bats. Yeah, I guess we'll have to find out. It'd be great. I can't really say what I'm intending to do as the prizes yet, though, because if I say that and it doesn't happen, then I'm going to be really, really sad, and I'm going to feel like I've let people down. So I'm not going to say anything yet, but I'm planning on doing like a big raffle. 70% of people think that we will still get promoted by just automatic means. 6% think playoffs, and 23% think no, it doesn't happen, which is more than I'd like it to be, but I could understand the feeling behind it. Are Leeds United and the 49ers aware of us doing a charity event, or are they unaware at present? I've been talking with the head of communications about it, so I would hope he's aware, considering I've been having conversations with the guy. Leeds play Luton tomorrow, who are in better form than Leeds and need a win to avoid relegation. Yeah, but we also need a win. Like, you can make this argument the other way around, and they are also ridiculously bad at home form. So I think that's the spot that we're in. At the end of the day, at this point in the season, form doesn't hugely matter. It's performances that matter. If Leeds draw Luton and the supporters boo them off, but then what? Then I think you can't really do much other than hope that next time is also good. Because if it isn't, then you get scared. I would quite like things to go well. But like, there isn't anything that you can do if Leeds draw at Luton and supporters boo them off. Like, realistically, what would you do? The extent of it is you acknowledge that supporters are a little bit mad, but you don't really have the opportunity to fundamentally change things at the club at that point. Which, meh. Who else other than Darlow do you think will be changed from last game? I don't know about the players that go out, but I think we see Nonto come in, probably for Aronson. Ramazani in for one of the wingers. I don't know which, so I don't want to hugely commit on that. And the midfield is just a question mark for me. I don't know what we're going to do with it. But that's fine. It's fine and acceptable to not know what we're going to be doing, because if we don't know and we're the ones that watch Leeds every single week, other managers are going to have no idea. It's going to be great. It's going to throw them right off. No reason why we can tomorrow take Luton in the bottom three for a reason. Yeah, I think we take the front foot and we stay on the front foot. And that'd be lovely. Leeds as it's been a day. Leeds Adidas Spizzle shoes. Let's have a look. Oh, those do not look cheap. I mean, they're out of stock with the Leeds store, which is a good start. What does eBay say? eBay says £160, which is nice. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm sorry, it's just not, because we do need to acquire these prizes. My wife is German, taking her to the Preston game next week. It's the first Leeds game. I've just got back from team Bochum beat by, so let's hope she's lucky. Let's hope so. Yeah, this is the point. Get her over every week. Not caught in a while. Hope you're all good. Yeah, doing pretty dang well, Matthew. Thank you very much. Joe, if it's LGBT friendly, it absolutely is. I was told to approach two guys for sponsors. I'm going to get the names of them for you if you still need sponsors. I'm absolutely never going to turn down people that are interested in sponsoring the event. So if you fancy doing that, then absolutely go for it. There's various details in the description below, so I can just have all those conversations if you like. In terms of being LGBTQ plus friendly, that's not a thing that you'll need to worry about with anything that I organise, for a variety of reasons, including, hold on, Late Night Leeds has begun, so I'm going to chuck people in that direction in a few minutes, based on the fact that, like, my high school best friend was trans, and like all of my friends were, well, a significant chunk of them were bi, and yeah, so very, very much friendly and welcoming to absolutely everybody. And it'd be fantastic to get them on board if that is something that they are interested in. But what I'm going to do is I am going to do a redirect over to Late Night Leeds over on Imagine Not Being Leeds. So I'm going to end the stream. It's going to put you over in that direction. What I would like you all to do, and I don't know if they will know that it is coming, because I know that Adam was watching the stream earlier, but if you could put in the chat what I have put there, which is up the roses, down with the peacocks, that would be much appreciated, because it brings a bit of childish fun, you know? Anyway, hope you enjoyed. If you did, how do I get the relevant info to you? Down below, there will be a bunch of things such as, I think I've put the email address down there. It's leedscreatorcup@outlook.com. That, or you go to leedscreatorcup.com, and then any sort of sponsorship inquiries and stuff will come to me, and that will be much appreciated. Thank you very much, Christine. Am I still into pigeons? I don't think I was into pigeons in the first place, but you guys ran with it, so sure, why not? Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. We'll head over to Late Night Leeds now. Check out Match Bingo if you fancy it too. Remember, up the roses, down with the peacocks, and I will see you later. Toodaloo.